There's a new statute on paid sick leave. We have an employer, because it happened to a client of ours who may have come out of this group or maybe the PSG, who came in and said, my mother was dying and I took off X days and I did the calculation under the statute. I had enough hours and they told me I had abused the process and I was fired. I said, do you want your job back? Because they're going to have to give it to you. He actually didn't. So, so there may be some other factors there, but, just understand, that's why it's helpful to understand what the law is as you go through it. And you don't have to be arrogant about it. You don't have to say on the advice of my legal counsel, unless that would help you, in which case you do. But just kind of absorb it, take it away, look it up online. Sometimes people call me and say, I don't know the law of X. And I go, just a moment, and I Google it. I say, well, the definitive interpretation of that, look it up, and then call if you still have questions. Okay. It doesn't have to be 12 weeks solid. It could be a week, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 12 weeks in the year. Some employers call the year the fiscal year, and they can shift in any month. So you have to understand what your rights are. So interesting. How about it's September? It turns out their fiscal year is November, and you use your number of weeks that you have, and then in December you go back for another leave or leave for somebody else, so in your family. Starts all over again. You can even do it with the Americans with Disabilities Act. You can do it a day at a time. I had a client who had migraine headaches and couldn't get to work on time. We had a huge fight. It was a federal employment. The first manager said, it's great. She left. The next manager was terrible. And we put in for a bunch of requests, but we worked it out. And she ended up being transferred within the same system. But literally, you can take 5 hours at a time. That's it's got to be with the doctor's, note always. You can also take these for a lot of different reasons, including if you're a victim of domestic violence, believe it or not. And you can take up to 6 weeks of leave and get 2/3 of your usual pay through the New Jersey Temporary Disability. That's not the Paid Sick Leave Act. That's a different act. So this has eligible employees, paid leave for medical needs of a family member, other permitted reasons. You get an hour of sick leave for every 30 hours worked for a total of 40 hours. So you max out at 1,200 hours, okay? So that means you could work 2,000 hours, but you're still getting the same 40 hours. So this was the one where the employer said, you abused your leave time because I said it was 3 days and you did X, Y, Z. And I'm like, well, the law trumps you on that one, my friend. Question is, if you live in New Jersey and you're working in New York, do you get the benefit of it? No. Same thing with unemployment. You work in New York, you're fired in New York, you collect in New York. How about this? You are a telecommuter from New Jersey anywhere in the world. Does the law of New Jersey apply to you? Yeah. Who says no? Raise your hand, be really proud. Proud. How many? The rest of you?
I think it's workable.
Okay, what's with no opinion? They're equal. Okay.
Is that work location?
I'm sorry?
Isn't telecommuting where you're working?
You're entirely too rational. She says telecommuting is where you work. That's true. If you work where you live, you're protected by the New Jersey law. Sir?
We didn't answer the question.
It's protected. That was the answer. I'm sorry. You're treated as if you are where you are because you're there. Have you read your handbook? I don't have that. So what you do is you apply. You can use. By the way, my leave time is better than the paid leave time, right? We give 3 weeks for whatever use you have. So if you're in that situation, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get it in addition to, but the employer has to at least meet the 40-hour standard if you qualify for the 40 hours. And if it's more, then it's more, but it's not in addition to, if that's what you're asking.